If I release the bleed nipple while that's happening, it should just shoot plenty of fluid out, and we'll know that the brake fluid pressure is getting to the caliper. It didn't release the brake pressure as we thought it would do. We then tried the banjo bolt on the back of the caliper from the flexi. We then tried the top of the flexi that goes to the hard pipe just there, pulling the brake line from that particular corner over here to the ABS pump. So then we tried releasing this and this hard line from the brake master cylinder. Both relieved the brake pressure fully and let the pedal drop straight away to the floor. So we know that the issue now is some sort of valve or solenoid in the ABS. So we are on part 2 of the ABS control unit. So this thing here is the cause, if you remember back to the last video, the cause of the brake pressure issue. We were getting brake pressure or fluid pressure to the ABS pump or ABS control unit, sort of one unit on this car, but it wasn't being sent from this to the near side front. So there's some sort of solenoid or something seized inside this particular control unit, this ABS pump, whatever you want to call it. So as you've probably already guessed, it's red hot. I'm sweating already, but that is the plan for today's video, is to get this thing off the car and get a new second-hand one that I got for 65 quid on eBay fitted. Fingers crossed it goes smoothly. The removal and installation should be fine. I'm just dreading bleeding the entire system. I think that's going to be a nightmare, but we'll see how we go. I used to say I was sincere. Yeah, the first thing I want to do is take the battery terminal off so that we're not confusing the ABS control unit when we're unplugging it and plugging a new one in. The next thing I need to do is see how this is connected. I think it's just a bolt here, a bolt there. I don't think there's anything else. I think that's pretty much it. There's one there. Excuse me, just around the corner. I've taken off the 2 bolts there and there. They were very, very difficult. They were just covered in rust, obviously, internally to the strut tower. So I'm guessing they go right through into the strut tower, and so it's just exposed steel inside the strut tower. It's just corroded over. We've got one left down there, and that's very, very easy to turn, so I'm just going to leave that one. I'm going to disconnect the connector here, and then I'll start disconnecting the lines to and from the ABS control unit. Now, with brake fluid, you want to remember that it is very, it's hygroscopic, so it absorbs water. It's also very, very corrosive, so you want to make sure that you get it off the paintwork as quickly as possible. Use water. Water will water it down very, very quickly. It'll even absorb the water. That's the best way of getting the brake fluid off any car, paint or bodywork. So yeah, get some trim tools for that now. So fast forward a little bit, and you can see that this here is just a basic plastic cover, and you push this little pin down on the top. I use a little trim tool for that. Push that little clip down, this just pulls out, and that literally just covers up the wires. And then you've got these 2 sort of clips either side, and they're on almost like a little ratchet mechanism. Don't know if you can see in there, but either side there's a little white ratchet mechanism that goes to these, and you can just about get like a hook on it and pull these up a little bit, and when you've got them high enough you can then get the pliers on them and just pull them up even more, and then it just peels off. So I've come out of the sun for this because I don't know where summer's come from all of a sudden. And a little bit of a concern of this one being so crusty, but as you can see just here, and this one here, it's nice and clean inside, which is what matters. I think it's probably just being left on a breaker's yard with the bonnet open. And just do the same on this one. Get all these connections off. Should be nice and easy. Last bolt, whip this off, put the other one in. So we go, everything's tight, we're plugged in. I'm now going to put the negative on the battery, and I'll just nip that up quickly. It's tight enough, and we'll just try the ignition now. No, so we've got a faulty ABS control unit. All the other lights have gone out. I wonder if I need to cycle it again, see if it works. No, it was faulty. Perhaps faulty. I'm going to try and bleed it, see if that resolves the light. So I'm just going around the wheels one by one, bleeding them, around the brake calipers should I say, just putting some vacuum on the bleed nipple, loosening it off, and then topping up the fluid at the brake master cylinder as and when required, and just feeding it through until we can't see any air bubbles coming through this quarter, if you like, of the system, and just making sure that it's clear and new brake fluid that's coming through. Just using normal .4, that's all that this car needs. You can buy this any Asda, I got it from Asda. Any normal shop sells normal .4 brake fluid. Certainly nothing special. If you do need to top your car up though, then you do have a problem. You shouldn't have to top your brake fluid up really, unless your brake pads are running incredibly low front and rear, and you need the lot sort of looking at, because your fluid's gone right down to the minimum marker. Or if you've got a leak, that could be very, very bad. You don't want your brake pressure to go all of a sudden, that's for sure. But yeah, I'm not incredibly, and you have to excuse my disgusting face because it's incredibly hot. Summer's just decided to come back on at the start of September, but I'm not exactly optimistic about bleeding the brakes and the ABS light going out. What I think might happen, if the ABS control unit's a good one, if the ABS pump's a good one, is that I'll take the car out for a spin, do an emergency stop and get the ABS to kick in, and then perhaps after a couple of those the ABS light may switch off. It might recognise it's been disconnected and reconnected maybe, and I'm just hoping. If not, it's back on eBay, try and get a refund for the faulty ABS control unit and pump that have been sent, and look for another one and do this all over again. But yeah, I'm on wheel well, caliper, brake fluid, number 2. And yeah, I'll give this a quick spin now and show you exactly what I'm doing. So yeah, bob this on, and as we release this, brake fluid will come out, as you can see there, or the vacuum will go down slowly, quite low, just increase that, and yeah, it's just rinse and repeat basically now. So I've gone all the way around the car, I'm sweaty as all. I've gone all the way around the car, bled the brakes. I'm just going to try the brake pedal, first press, see how solid it feels. I don't feel bad actually, it was the second press that I had to, don't feel bad, feels quite solid, but let's try the ignition again. Right, all the lights are on, it's in neutral. Start the car, all the other lights have gone off apart from the ABS light. Press the brake, pump it. The brake pedal feels normal with servo assistance. The ABS light isn't turning off, which is annoying. I'm just going to press it now without any servo assistance. It does come solid. The ABS light's still on. I think the next thing we need to do, I apologise for the state of me, the next thing we need to do is take it on a test drive. So we'll see how the test drive goes. I'll come back to you guys and let you know exactly how it went, if we've still got an ABS light, if the car still pulls to one side, maybe we've solved one problem but we no longer have ABS. I'd rather the car brake equally with all 4 brakes, and it have all 4 wheels braking the car, braking efficiency being there, and not have ABS, than have one of your 2 main brakes, because as you know, 70% of the braking on a vehicle is done by the front wheels, the other 30% is done by the rears. So I'd rather have the majority of braking effort and not have ABS, because you very rarely rely on ABS, whereas you do rely on braking effort much more frequently. Even in emergency stops, sometimes your ABS doesn't have to kick in. So I'd rather that, but we still need an ABS control unit. I might have to see if I can take that one apart and figure it out. But let's take this on a test drive, see how it goes. We have great success. The ABS light is out, the car's running, the brakes work perfectly fine, brakes nice and square, and I had the ABS kick in as well, doing an emergency stop just to make sure that the ABS pump was right. Very, very, very happy, very, very tired and warm and sweaty and gross. I don't know why the sun's decided to come out as hot as it has towards the end of the day, but it's not been welcome while I've been doing this work. It's been well too warm. But I'm glad that the ABS pump has worked. I think what happened is that the car just wanted to, or the ABS control unit wanted to see all 4 wheels rotating and recognise that signal before it told the dash to switch that light off. I think the car recognised that it was a new ABS control unit, or the ABS control unit may have even had a fault stored in it before on one of the wheel sensors from the previous car it was on. Maybe, I don't know how complex the ABS control unit is on these particular cars, but these are just scenarios that could have caused that light to illuminate, and it definitely wanted to check all 4 wheels, see them rotating, and then once it had recognised that, it actually turned off as I rolled out of the driveway, so I was very happy about that, and it just flicked off and I cheered as it set off, and I was like, wait, it's gone out. And then I started testing the brakes and I was like, God, I don't have to compensate for the braking anymore, I don't have to turn left whilst it decelerates. Brilliant, successful afternoon. Didn't have enough time in the day and didn't have enough energy left in me to do something else on the car. I was going to do the front discs and pads because they have worn unevenly, but they do brake evenly, which is the main thing. But yeah, front discs and pads, still need to do the strut top mounts, need to replace the aerial, and on top of all that, what was the other thing? Engine mount, near side engine mount. So a few things to do yet on this particular car before it's perfect and running well. It might even need a clutch because the clutch pedal is very, very low, and sometimes it's difficult to change gears. But yeah, happy with that. And that is all for this particular video, so I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.